Hi, it's Neil from neilcountdoe.com, and in this clip we're going to be looking at varieties of steel strung acoustic guitar. Now, they come in all shapes and sizes, and there are a few things that you really need to consider when you are shopping or looking for yet another guitar or for your first one. First consideration is, once you've decided you're going to go steel strung acoustic, what sort of sound are you after? If you're after something with heaps of bass, then you go for something with a bigger body, because the front panel, the top of the guitar, will move those low frequencies much more effective than a small guitar. The other big consideration is you. If you're a strapping big geezer, you can probably work around a big body much more easily than, say, a petite young lady who's going to struggle getting her arms around such a huge big wooden box. So I'll start with the sizes upwards and then work down. So the very first one is this big square shouldered thing. Now this design is called a dreadnought. As you can see here, it's broad across the shoulders there. It's sort of chunky in the waist here, and then quite broad across the bounce. That's the hips of the guitar, if you like. So shoulders, waist, hips. Don't even go there. Now, as you can see, this sits quite high up on me. It's quite an obtrusive box because of the way it's cut here at the waist. It doesn't go in very far, so everything's sitting quite high up. Now that can be pretty good, but if you're more petite than me, I'm only 5'10", so I'm not a particularly huge geezer. I'm not a big fan myself of the dreadnought body design because of the size of it. However, it does produce quite a rounded tone with plenty of bass. So that's big and smooth and rich, much like myself. Yeah. And it's got plenty of volume, so at the moment I'm just gliding the plectrum across the strings. But when I start to biff it, it goes quite loud. My own preference is the next guitar I'll show you, because it's a little bit slimmer in the waist here. It loses about an inch at the waist, which moves it down to about 2 jeans sizes, I believe. The great thing about hanging out with a fat guitar is it makes me look slim. So my next favourite, this is actually my favourite guitar of the lot of them, is this one. This is a Super Jumbo. Now it's actually thicker across the hips than the dreadnought, but it's a lot skinnier in the waist. This is a much more curvaceous, big booty kind of a guitar, if you'll forgive the expression. But because it's cut so skinny in the waist here, it sits a lot lower. The dreadnought was up to about there on me, so I can get away with a bigger body which produces a lot fuller and rounder bass, but it's not as physically demanding to work around that box. So if I do the same sorts of things as I just did, again, this is a lovely tone guitar and it goes very, very loud, so it's well balanced in the mid-range too, this one. But when I welly it, it still goes quite loud. So working my way down from there, I'll grab the Taylor from over there. Incidentally, that one's a Freshman 400 series. That's a prototype. It's a beautiful guitar. Right, this little Herbert. This is a Taylor 614 CE, and again, this is a little bit smaller overall. Sits nice and comfortable, and amazingly it's in tune. It's got a very bright, crisp sound, because this one's got a lot of maple timber in there, which is zingy. This records very well. It's a good recording guitar. As with all my guitars, this one was set up by me to my personal preferences. Always recommend you do that, guys. get yourself a good luthier, or me for that matter, and make all the difference. If you wonder what this is, it's blue tack, because I'm often using this to demonstrate finger picking. So just finger picking like this. So if you're having trouble with finger picking, there's a nice little tip for you. Put a little dab of blue tack on there, rest your little finger on it. Nice guitar, but not physically massive, so it's quite easy for small people. I'll move down the rack size a little bit now. Bouncing that off a little guild. Onto this little beauty. This, me darlings, is a small bodied jumbo. Small jumbo, don't ask me. This is Gibson's J200 Junior, which is big and rotund, very skinny in the waist. It's actually designed for women, so that they're the boobs, if you like, I can't put it any other way, so that their chest doesn't get in the way. As a guitar teacher, working around the female physique is an issue. So if you've got, you know, a fairly prominent chest, girls, don't go and get yourself a dreadnought, because it's going to be out here. You'll be working the wrong way. Get yourself something that sits out of the line of your bust, okay? So this guitar is a little bit lighter sounding, plenty of bass though still. Doesn't get very boxy, still quite loud. But again, nice to put second guitar parts on, because it records the top end quite beautifully. Again, this needed setup when I got it, it was a bit of a mess. It's a nice old guitar, it's about 25 years old, this one, so this is something I'll often pick up and play just for the hell of it. Despite the blinginess, I'm not a big fan of the bling. So I'll go down even more now in body size to this. This is a little Blue Ridge. It's their take on the smaller body Martins, like the 42. So quite nice and bright, plenty of middle, not so much bass, but a small body. And this has got the advantage of the Gibson, it's shallow front to back, so depth of the body is a big consideration. If I put this back to back with that Freshman, you'll see that the Freshman is considerably thicker. It doesn't look a fat lot, but when you're holding the two things, you really feel the extra depth of the Freshman. And that's one of the reasons it's such a good guitar for bass and for the projection side of it. So a smaller guitar like this will respond very well to finger picking, because the bass notes don't swamp out so much. So I'm going to go down again in body size. I'll just go and grab something that's called a parlour guitar from over here. Bear with me. That's my little Washburn parlour guitar, which I don't play very often, so it's probably hideously out of tune. It's tiny! And as you can probably tell, that massively affects the sound. It doesn't produce a lot of bass, so if I'm strumming it can sound thin, weedy, tinny even. For finger picking, that same. Totally different sound from the big fat Freshman over there. So that's a quick run through of acoustic guitars. Hope this helps you. You need to get in touch. Hit me up at info@neilcommodore.com or join the group Guitar Zone on Facebook through me. Just add me as a friend, subscribe to the YouTube channel, do all the social media guff, let's get some of this stuff out there. Have a fabulous day.